Welcome back. Let's dive in and discuss two more local cases capturing headlines. 25 years in prison. That's the sentence Frank Lawrence III received 2 days ago for running over James Ackerman Jr. back in 2020 in a moment of road rage. Dr. Katherine Kuhlman of Kuhlman Psychology and Consulting joins me once again. Now, this happened in Mesa 4 years ago. Ackerman's girlfriend cut Lawrence off in traffic, and according to court documents, that's when Lawrence followed the couple to an apartment complex and began punching the girlfriend in the face. When Ackerman got out of the car to film Lawrence's license plate, Lawrence ran the 22-year-old over, killing him. You know what, Katherine? We see road rage all the time. It is nothing new, unfortunately, but in this situation, it is so extreme. How do emotions just skyrocket like that?
Well, so there's a couple of risk factors when we look at road rage. So typically we're going to see somebody that's actually engaging in this, they're high life stressors, and that this is really displaced anger. And it kind of happens on this trajectory where they are insulting of other drivers and almost in disbelief at the way that other people drive. There's blaming. You know, swerved into my lane and cut me off, and now I'm late for work. Or
it's like personal. They take it personally.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so then it sometimes turns into fantasies of revenge in that moment, and then sometimes they act on it. And so that's what we see. And it's really scary because, you know, it puts so many people at risk.
Right.
And the language that we use in our own head when we're talking about other people, when we use that word you, typically that's a feeling of anger, right? So name calling, insulting, expletives.
Blame, it was interesting. A study by Forbes Advisor last year, it actually ranked Arizona as the top state for confrontational drivers. You know, in light of something like this, and we see it all the time, you know, things get heated. What can drivers do to prevent this?
Well, knowing that road rage is typically an outward expression of other anger or high stress, it's really important to look at areas of your life that might be stressful and think about what you can do to actually manage it.
Right.
You know, and consider your commute. So, you know, I know in the morning that my commute might be 15 minutes, but if there's an accident, it might be an hour. So I should probably just plan for an hour.
Right.
And if I give myself that leeway, I'm going to feel less rushed and therefore less angry.
Okay.
And the fact that wherever you're going, right, 90% of the time, it's not going to be a life or death situation.
Yes.
Right. If you're late for that client meeting, people typically are pretty understanding because guess what? We all have to deal with valley traffic.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world. Yeah. Okay. Good to keep it in perspective. All right, our last case here. 19 years ago, a newborn baby was found in a woman's trash can at Phoenix Sky Harbor. Now, the woman who's accused of the 2005 murder, Annie Anderson, has until April 15th to be extradited back to Arizona after she was arrested at her home in Arlington, Washington, back in December. According to Phoenix police, the baby, named baby Skylar by authorities, died of suffocation. The full-term baby still had its umbilical cord attached. Anderson is now 51 years old and charged with suspicion of first-degree murder. Katherine, this has been 19 years. I vividly remember when this happened. You know, what is it like? Who would have thought that all these years later that there would have been an arrest?
Right. I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like for her, thinking for almost 20 years that I got away with it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's a lifetime for some people.
Right. You think it's over.
Right. For her, it's almost half of her life.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's just amazing, I think, how technology has really improved when it comes to investigating crimes. And that, I mean, what a testament to Phoenix police, who just did not give up on this and really worked closely with the FBI.
Exactly. You know, here in Arizona, many of you may know that we do have a safe haven law that basically allows someone to legally and anonymously leave a baby at safe places like a hospital or a fire station. But if someone didn't know about this law, why would any mother abandon their child like this?
I mean, the way that this happened, right, is just so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But when you think about like what is going to cause a mother to abandon her newborn child, there can be a number of things. It could be financial instability. You know, it could be lack of access to health care. You know, who knows? Because she was here visiting for a real estate intensive kind of course and heading back home. you know, who knows, maybe there was somebody back home who would not have been okay if she had an abortion, and, you know, she could have the baby and then lie about,
Right.
you know, what had happened.
In such a public place, though. That's why
right.
it stood out as just so jarring and shocking.
Right, out of all of the places.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously she had been staying at a hotel, so maybe this felt like a very public place where there's so many people coming and going, and she thought cover her tracks, but horrible.
It is. It is. All right, Katherine, thank you so very much for all your analysis and insight into the 4 cases. We so appreciate it.